This video will talk about one of the basic concepts in algebra, which we call the distributive property. So for example, we have here 4, a number, and then a parenthesis 8x plus 2. So whenever you have a number and next to it is a parenthesis, it means 4 times this 8x plus 2. The operation there is multiplication, okay? And we usually want to get rid of that parenthesis, and that's when we use the distributive property. And how to do the distributive property? All right, here's how you do it. So all you have to do is pair the number outside to every number inside the parentheses. You have to pair it. So for example, your first pair will be 4 and 8, right? That's your first pair. Now you have to perform the multiplication. You have to multiply for each pair. So 4 times 8, that gives you now the second pair will be that number outside again multiplied to the next number, which is positive 2. Positive 2. So 4 multiplied to positive 2. So 4 times 2, which is a positive 8. So I'll put here the number plus 8. And now, once we perform the distribution, that's why we call it distributive, distribute, we now remove the parentheses. So this is the answer. Now let's do our second example. So we have 9, and then inside the parentheses, 6x minus 5r plus 6. Again, if you have 9 in parentheses, it means 9 multiplied to all of this. All right? And to get rid or remove of that parentheses, we will perform the distribution. Here's how you distribute. So you just use the number outside and pair it to every single number inside the parentheses. So your first pair will be 9 and 6. So 9, you can do it like this. 9 and then parenthesis 6x. That's your first pair. Okay? And then your next pair will be another 9 and then the second number here. So you can put it again in here, another 9, and then the number there is negative 5r. Negative 5r. Okay? And then you still have another number here, so another 9 times this third number. So that's a 9 and a positive 6. All right? So you do the pairing. Now, perform multiplication for each pair. So 9 times 6x is just 54x. That's a 54x. And then next partner will be 9 times negative 5r. 9 times negative 5 is negative 45. You just need to attach it here. That's negative 45r. Okay, and then the last pair will be 9 times 6, which is a positive 54. So you should have a plus 54. Right. You have to write the answer in one line. So this is now the result after distribution. All right, so the next example, we have negative, and then inside the parentheses is negative 6.5x plus 3. Now, there is a parenthesis, so we will perform the distribution. All right, so as you can see, the number outside, there's no number outside of the parentheses, but you see there's a negative. So if you see that negative, it's automatic. You have there an imaginary 1. So that means the number here will be negative 1. And that's the number that you will multiply to each number inside the parentheses. Okay? So your first pair will be negative 1 times negative 6.5. So that's your first pair of numbers. So you can put everything in parentheses, negative 1 in parentheses, and then negative 6.5 in parentheses. Okay? And then the next pair will be another negative 1 multiplied to a positive 3. So that's another negative 1 times a positive 3. And now you multiply for each pair. So what's negative 1 times negative 6.5x? That gives you a positive 6.5x. Okay? Next is negative 1 times 3, which is a negative 3. So negative 3. So this is now the result after distribution. And there's no more parentheses. So for our final example, so we have here negative and then parenthesis negative 6.2x plus 5y minus 10. Okay, so again, if you see a negative outside of the parentheses, it means there is an invisible 1 there. So that number actually is a negative 1. Okay, so your first pair will be negative 1 and then negative 6.2x. So that's negative 1, parentheses, and then negative 6.2x. Right? Your next pair will be another negative 1 to the positive 5y. So another negative 1 and then the positive 5y. And then your last pair will be, because you still have a number here, another negative 1 times a negative 10. See that negative in front of the 10? That must be part of the number. So negative 1, and then the last number here is negative 10. And then now you simplify and write the answer in one line. So negative 1 times negative 6.2x, that's actually a positive 6.2x. Next is negative 1 times positive 5. If you multiply, that's actually a minus 5y. And then negative 1 times negative 10, that's a positive 10. So this is now the result after distribution.